Good evening. Welcome to this week's edition of the Wayback Movies Podcast, a show where we review the best and not so best of 80s and 90s cinema, because really, fuck the 2000s. My name is Steve, and with me on this crazy journey,
Justin.
Doctor.
Back
to our original intro.
Yeah, I totally forgot how we do things around here.
Yeah, we literally had a minute of going like, how do we do this? Stuff with the things, but we are back with a different... We're finally done with Rocky, is all I'm saying, really. Because as much as I enjoyed watching that film series, it was kind of annoying doing the same series over and over again. So that's definitely not something we're going to do in the future, and we'll discuss that next month, actually. Yeah. Because there is a film series we are going to deal with next month, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But this week, as we referred to last week, we are going to be doing, in honor of Black History Month, we are going to be focusing on films that are predominantly made by African Americans.
Acted by as well.
Yes, acted by, made by, all of that kind of stuff, but predominantly.
Yeah.
But, of course, since we're still us, we're not really going to do culturally significant films or anything like that. We're going to do dopey stuff, much like today's film, which is Krush Groove, from October 25th, 1985. A film that...
Film? Question mark?
Yeah. Like I said last week, I had never seen this movie, neither had you. So This is the first and definitely only time we are ever going to do a film we've never seen before, because...
Not that it was bad.
No, certainly not.
Because, quite frankly, it's probably going to get good ratings for both of us.
Oh, absolutely. But it just... I mean, we'll get to it later on, but it's just sort of... There's not much to say about this movie, and there's a reason you'll clearly tell as we go forward, but it's something that we definitely don't want to repeat, I think, because there's a lot we're not going to be able to do with this. Yeah. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Now, actually, I forgot to do this off mic, so we're going to do this on mic, and you'll see a little bit behind the curtain of this rinky-dink show. Now, most of the info I have for this involves the plot of the movie. Mm-hmm. So did you want me to make the end of it more heavy than the front? Because most of it revolves what, can only loosely be called a plot.
Well, what we could do is I can go through the movie and you can just...
Yeah, I've got a handful of things I can't do it that way.
No?
I can't do it interject. I would either have to do it in the beginning and just spoil the whole thing, or do it at the end. I can't really interject.
No, I'll do it at the beginning.
All right.
Not that there's much to spoil.
That's true. That's very true. But yeah, so it's... Again, there's not much written about this movie. It didn't get good reviews. It was not... Once you know what this movie is, once we get to it, I feel we're being so fucking cryptic for no reason.
Well, no. From what I've gathered, and I could be wrong about this, out of the plethora, if you will, of movie podcasts that are on all forms of on all platforms, I have no idea if this movie's ever been covered. I can't find it. I tried.
I can't imagine anyone...
I don't want to say this is the first time this movie's ever been covered on a movie podcast, because most certainly it probably isn't. But it might be.
We'll definitely probably be the only ones ever going in depth on it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if anyone's ever talked about it, it's been in passing, because, again, not that it's bad, it's just not a movie. And you'll understand as we go forward, but yeah, it's not really a movie.
Well, we'll jump into things.
Yes, so in that we will go... way back to October 25th, 1985 for Krush Groove. So here we are, 1985. Yeah, things are happening. I don't remember 85 at all.
Nope.
I was only 3 years old.
I'm going to assume pastels and cocaine.
Probably. That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this flick.
Krush
Groove.
Great title, by the way.
Oh, it's a fantastic title.
Great title, by the way.
And the song that it's basically named after is great.
And the jackets that they wear in the film. Oh, the whole aesthetic
We both absolutely wanted one of those jackets. That would be the official jacket of the podcast, that's for sure. But it was directed by Michael Schultz, Written by Ralph Farquhar. Produced by Michael Schultz, George Jackson, and Russell Simmons. No shit. Distributed by Warner Brothers. Box office of $11 million against a budget of $3 million. I don't know if that's profitable or not, because I don't know how much this would have been advertised.
No, I guarantee you the advertising was probably nil.
Yeah, I can't imagine that there was much advertising.
So they made
this.
some cash.
So
off
yeah,
this
there must have been a couple bucks made.
I'm surprised it made $11 million.
Me too. And that was actually rounding down. It's like 11 million and like 50,000 or whatever.
1985. You're in the sweet spot for some of these of these acts that are in this film.
Well, this is actually them kind of coming up, and that's what I'll get into in a minute. It's very, very strange. So anyway, the cast is Blair Underwood plays Russell Walker, and of the main cast, that's the only real actor.
And he's playing a fictionalized version of Russell Simmons.
Exactly. So you've got Sheila E. playing herself, Run DMC and Jam Master Jay playing themselves, the Fat Boys playing themselves.
Oh my god,
I know.
I fucking love the Fat Boys.
I always have, because they did a song for Nightmare 5.
Oh, did they?
Are You Ready for Freddy? Such a good tune. Terrible but great. Rick Rubin plays himself. Curtis Blow plays himself. New Edition perform, as do the Beastie Boys, and LL Cool J does a rap for like 3 seconds.
And literally the scene before that is Niobe.
Yeah.
And she's literally like, here she is, bye-bye!
Yeah, exactly. So, that's your cast.
I think the Beastie Boys got booed, too.
They did. Well, White Boys, 1985. It took a minute before they blew up.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was literally like the next year or something like that, they started opening for Madonna, and that's where they got known, which is weird. I don't know how that happened.
I like to buy the rights to your stories.
Well, their book just came out, so you could read that.
I would hope it's
a
in a book,
fucking phone book.
Yeah, it's huge.
Have you seen the thing? Jesus Christ, I want to read it, but I don't know if I can.
It's a totem.
I'd have to quit my job. Like, that takes forever. Jesus. So, the production. This is going to be exactly what makes sense. Originally conceived as a concert film / documentary.
No shit.
Simmons convinced the producers to turn it into a fictionalized movie. No. That was weird. So it was very much, it's a fictionalized account of the start of Def Jam recordings. Plain and simple. There's not much else to this. And when I say fictionalized, fictionalized.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the next part that I'm going to get to, which is why I asked if you wanted to do it after the film.
Mm-hmm.
So, another interesting thing is Spike Lee tried to be the assistant director on the movie, but he actually got turned down. Ironically, he was doing it to raise money for She's Gotta Have It, which is a much more culturally significant film than this. Although, if you look back, this is surprisingly culturally significant, considering that it was basically the mainstream's first real introduction to hip-hop. And it's great for that. So anyway, the differences, which I have written down here. So the differences between what happens in the flick and what happened in real life. Simmons was a manager before he started working with Rick Rubin on Def Jam. His management company, which I have written down elsewhere, Rush Management, was actually where most of these people were actually found, because most of the people were not on Def Jam at the time.
No.
Like Run DMC wasn't, and
he did not produce Run DMC with Rick Rubin.
No, well, he did later on.
Later on, but not
later
this.
on. Not by this point. It was actually their third album that he produced. At this point, it was actually Russell Simmons who was producing them.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the clients were in the movie. Run DMC weren't on Def Jam. I think I just skipped ahead of that. King of Rock was never released by Def Jam, which is hilarious considering it starts the movie.
Mm-hmm. But it was released by Krush Groove.
Yes. So Def Jam's original artists at the time were Tila Rock and Jazzy J, the Beastie Boys, and LL Cool J. That was it. So why they went with all these other than, hey, it's awesome, let's have them on here? I don't know.
Well, nepotism.
Yeah, I mean, if you're involved in both, I mean, clearly that was why all these acts ended up on Def Jam to begin with, is like, well, I'm already your manager, so
and he's also
go.
the brother to
Well, that too.
Rev Run.
That too. But I think it was because he met Rick Rubin, because Rick Rubin had actually technically started it, although, the accounts are questionable, but the idea supposedly was that Rick Rubin started it first, and then, met Simmons very quickly, so they just sort of, they started it together. But,
best friends.
Yeah. Larry Smith actually produced Run DMC's first 2 records with Russell Simmons. So there you go. That's the info there. I forgot that I'd written it down.
Yeah.
LL Cool J was not discovered in an audition. He was actually discovered by a demo tape that was found in Rick Rubin's apartment by Ad Rock of the Beastie Boys.
Like, he's just like, what's this,
They're
Rick?
literally looking through... No, they had a ton of demo tapes and stuff like that. They're just flipping through, and he found this one, and they listened to it, and they liked it, so they signed him. The name of the Fat Boys actually came from their manager, who at one point was given a $350 room service bill when they stayed at a hotel.
I fucking love the Fat Boys so much.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
And they embraced it. Because, yeah... You got to think about that, like, you're looking at that going, well, that's a lot, but it's not crazy. This is in 1985 dollars.
Yeah.
Where they're also, one of their biggest rap songs is about, all-you-can-eat buffet. And
quite frankly, that was the best scene in the entire film.
It really was. And it was a, $4 buffet? Try finding a $4 buffet in 2016. You would never eat there, whatever it is. So you got to think $350. Sorry, 28. What fuck year are we in? 2019.
We're in 1985.
Oh, no. It was because I looked this up already with the inflation, and it only goes to 2016. Okay. That's why it must have popped into my head. So
either way, that would be nuts.
That would be. So Sheila E. did not have a relationship with the Reverend Run or Russell Simmons. They just wanted a love interest in the flick.
Because it's a movie. You gotta force a dramatic plot. You gotta force a love interest.
Exactly. And...
Hey, I get it.
The money issues never happened.
He didn't go to No Gangsters?
No. Russell Simmons had all the money in the world from his management company. Yeah. He just threw it into Def Jam, and they were off to the races. There was nothing.
He didn't go to George Washington Duke?
He did not. He did not.
See, I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, fuck, 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. Good for you, Richard Grant.
There's a lot of connections to the stuff we've been covering with this movie, ironically enough. And movies we're covering soon. But yeah, so there's that. That's literally all I have. There is nothing else on this movie.
You didn't give too much away.
I scoured as best I could.
Not much.
No, it was worse than I thought it would be, or less than I thought it would be.
So we do start.
We do
with the King of Rock.
Ain't none higher.
Sucker MCs.
Call me sire.
There you go. And they play the whole song.
Yeah.
You'll notice this.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody starts a song in this movie, it's like Cartman singing Come Sail Away. He's got to finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole song. Not that I'm complaining, because it's all great music.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I guess we should get this out of the way. This is not a movie. This is what we've been alluding to. This is not a movie. It is a hour-and-a-half long music video with a threadbare plot thrown in.
A series of music videos or musical performances with the barest bone plot you will ever find.
Yes.
In a film.
It is a paint-by-numbers plot.
So we start with Run DMC, Krush Groove Records. King of Rock is Krush Groove's first real record hit. And it's selling like hotcakes. But Russell doesn't have enough money.
Yeah, they have an order
to press the records.
They have an order for 10,000 records, and he doesn't have. He needs $5,000 to press the records. So he randomly goes to a priest.
Who's father?
We found. I'm getting there. Dramatic pauses, my friend. Come on.
Not in this movie.
Well, I'm trying to make up for the movie. So he goes to his priest, his father, and asks him for the money. This is where I immediately just don't understand. His dad's like, no, you got to do this yourself because, bless from God and all that shit. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's making it like this is your mission. God is testing you. Like,
and I'm sitting here.
Can you just...
And I have two questions immediately. Two immediate fucking questions. One, he's already got the fucking orders. So this is literally...
Shouldn't they pay for themselves?
Well, that too. But it has an investment that will be paid off